What does it feel like to release the body? I wanted to come on here and have this conversation of what it actually feels like, what it actually feels like in a body when someone goes from chronic pain to either no chronic pain or very little, or from extreme stiffness, extreme tension to not having that. I think this is a really important conversation. I've been through this process. I know other people who have been through it or are going through it. And this is a conversation of healing. And that's what we're going to talk about. That's the main thing today. I want to take the time right now to very quickly announce that I just put out a program. It's called The Art of Relaxation. And it is the process that one goes through or needs to initiate to create the things that I'm going to discuss in this video. It is the work. It is the relaxation work. It's the healing of the nervous system and the healing of the body. So when I discuss these things of release and relaxation, this program is designed to take you through that. And I just created it. I'm announcing it right now. I'm releasing it today. So check the link in the description to see that program. And thank you very much. Now let's talk about this. I'm going to tell you what it feels like. To me, it feels like coming home, and as if like you haven't been home in a very long time, and you are arriving back, and in that place you're kind of like, oh, I didn't even realize that I wasn't home. I didn't realize that I wasn't fully feeling like myself. And it's not possible to not be ourselves. Like, we are ourselves, right? But when we have all of these layers of, pain or tension in our body, if our body is super stiff and we can't do the things that we want to do, it doesn't feel like a fun place to live. And when you go through this process of getting that stuff out, getting that stuff to go away, you feel this sense of like, oh my God, like this feels so comfortable. And I've never really, I've been here before, actually, is what it feels like. It feels like I've been here before, but it's been so long, It also feels like very soft and relaxed. If you imagine, if you've ever picked up a cat, and if this cat is like a normal cat, not like a crazy cat, it's probably very relaxed. And when you pick it up, it'll just fold and melt around you. Yeah. That's what this feels like. It feels like, like everything's just, melting and folding and releasing, right? It feels like melting. It feels like if you laid on the ground that you would just melt into the floor. Now I have this imagery of like, I have friends who are naturally very flexible. Their body doesn't give them issues, right? And when I watch these friends move about the world, and especially when I was really, really stiff and stuck in my body, I would watch them and just be so envious. Because like they would sit on a couch and they would just be like cross-legged and folded up, and like they're just so comfortable. Or they're sitting on the ground in all these crazy positions and they're just like, sinking in, right? And like, my body couldn't do that. And I would look at those people and be like, dang, I really wish I could do that. I wish I was there. That's what it feels like. It feels like you are one of those people. And again, like comfort in your body, this freedom in your body, it feels unrestricted and unbound. It is everything that you think it could be. And as you initiate this process, it's very deep. Like a lot starts to come undone. You become a lot more open and a lot more accepting, and you're way less rigid and worried about anything, right? And you're just like more playful. You're more connected to your heart. You're more connected. You're more connected to yourself, which means that you're less worried about the world. You're less worried about all these things that give you trouble. And you're able to just soften and relax into life. And look, if I'm being very real, like as real as I possibly could be, look, it feels like you're getting your life back. When you're stuck and bound up and or you have pain that's ruling your life, like this is all consuming, right? Like it's something you think about constantly. It's something that's constantly stopping you. And when this goes away, like it it makes you want to cry. Right? Like it is just incredibly deep, this and it's deeper than just the physical, like, oh wow, I can finally do these things I wish I could do. It's much deeper than that. It's like your being inside of you is like, oh, thank you. Like, thanks for doing this work to help me like feel like I can express myself, to help me feel like I'm unchained and I can just be in this world like in a very free way. So as you're going through this process, one of the things is that you realize that the pain and the rigidity in your body is the same that's in your psyche and in your character. It's in you. It is you. Like this stuckness that you feel or this pain you feel, it's physical, but it's happening inside of you. And there's no way to like explain that super well. We are very like multi-dimensional, like multifactorial. Like we are not just a body, we are not just a mind. Like we are this thing, we are this energy. And you start to realize that the way that you're holding on to yourself is so much deeper. And really what a lot of it is it's this pain that we've dealt with in our lives, this mistrust that we've developed, maybe between people or things that have like lost our trust. And so we go into this protection mode. And in protection mode, it's our nervous system doesn't feel safe. And when our nervous system doesn't feel safe, it's going to hold on, it's going to grasp, it's going to tighten. And that tightening is happening in our nervous system, but our tissues, our body, our musculature, all of this, it follows what the nervous system does. So if the nervous system feels unsafe, if it feels like it needs to protect, then everything is going to follow in that protection. And once you initiate in this healing of the nervous system, you start to see it happening. You start to see when the nervous system is getting afraid and it's closing. And you can actually catch it before it like fully closes. And this is something that's totally possible, I think, for everybody or for most people. Like, I think this type of healing is totally possible. It's just that we need to recognize that a lot of it comes from this fear. And a lot of people don't like this word, but from this trauma that we've experienced in our lives. And trauma can be big and small. It can be tiny, right? But our body just keeps responding in these same patterns. And so again, like when you feel yourself releasing this stuff from your body, like releasing these patterns, it is incredible. Like you're continuously shocked by first like how much you're holding on, and then but also like how much you're able to actually release. And it's a lot. You're able to release a lot. And that's why I think anybody can do it, and it might be faster or slower for some people, but this is possible. And there is a process for undoing all of this, and it's actually the simplest thing you've ever heard, but it's not the easiest. And this process is relaxation and release. So think about if the nerves are constantly grabbing, if there's this constant fear and protection inside of us, what do we need to do? Well, most people who work with the body, not all of them, but a lot of the Western like approach, physical therapy, corrective exercise, stuff like this, it's to take the hammer and the nail and to try to do something, try to change something, right? Oh, I need more external rotation. Oh, I need more protraction of my shoulder blades. Don't get me wrong. I still do all of this. I love all of this. I work with the body in this way. It's very great. But understand that if this is happening and you try to hammer and nail, right? Great. Like you're adding more doing to a constant state of doing. Think about what this is, doing, right? I'm in action, I'm tensing, I'm protecting. So instead of adding more doing, it's important that we undo, right? If I'm here, well, doesn't it make sense to just come here, come more relaxed? First, get the body to stop, right? And when we get the body to stop, ooh, okay, we feel more relaxed. Then we can do all this stuff. We can do stretching and mobility and corrective exercise. And a lot of that stuff works better because we're not in a constant state of stress and protection. Now, I mean it when I say this is simple. Like, this is just like, learn how to relax. And I know that sounds crazy, but most people do not know what relaxation feels like. Most people in the modern world, I really, really mean it. I haven't yet worked with an individual who knows what relaxation is. And I know, and I'm very aware that if you say this to like a physical therapist or something, like I would get laughed out of the room for for making these claims and saying that this is something that's going to work really well. That's the state of things. That's where it is. But understand that this is massive. All those things I said in the beginning of what it feels like that's real. And yeah, it's just it's crazy to me that this type of stuff gets treated that way. But consider, like, how am I able to speak on this topic with such certainty? Well, it's not because I've read the scientific literature. I'm also not going to present scientific literature. I'm sure there is scientific literature that would prove all of this really great. I've read some of it. I've also read many books on this topic. But this almost isn't even the thing. It's not gonna be what gets you there, right? What's gonna get you there is doing it, is going through the practices, going through the work. And that's how I'm able to speak with certainty, is because I've felt this. I've felt this release in my body. I have had chronic back pain since I hurt my back at 18 years old. Really bad. I've dealt with it for a long time. And in the recent years of doing almost solely this work, things are improving vastly. I was stuck. My hips were stuck. Everything was just stuck. And I went through this process. You can watch it in other videos, but I went through a lot of corrective exercise and stretching, and it was all really helpful. Don't get me wrong. I opened my body a lot. But it wasn't until I started doing this stuff that I felt like I was getting to the root of the problem and realizing, oh my God, like I am holding so much tension. And even with the layers of solving my back pain, I've released so much tension. I'm still like, oh yeah, there's a lot more to go. There's a lot more to get out of there, of all that protection mode that's happening back there. So again, yes, I'm able to speak on it because I've felt it. I've released so much, and I felt everything that I'm talking about. And not to make this only about me, like, this is something that's understood by a lot of people in this world. A lot of people understand healing in this way, understand how important releasing the nervous system is. If you go to an acupuncturist, they understand most of this. If they understand all of this, if they're a good one, right? Like, it's not an unknown thing. Many people have gone through this experience of release, of letting go, and can speak to it. And as I said before, I think that just about anyone could have a similar experience of release. This is not something that's new. This is something that's been understood for millennia, and there's traditions that have passed this understanding down, through the ages. So if I can sum all of this up, it's that healing feels incredible. It's like everything you've imagined that it could be. It is. You feel like you are just becoming 100% you again, with all this stuff melting away. In order to truly do this, one must learn the art of relaxation. It is an art. It's something that, it's a skill. It's something that you have to learn, you have to spend time with and energy with. But once you start to feel relaxation, once you start to feel how much tension and just stuff that you're holding on to, once you start to feel that start to go away, even just a little bit, your body starts to crave it. Your body loves this. Your body does not want to be bound up in tense. Here's just one quick thing to consider. If you're constantly carrying tension in your body, think about tension is action, which means tension takes energy. So consider, how much energy are you using on being tense all the time? How much does that take from you? What I found is that it takes a lot from you. As I've gone through this process of undoing, I have more energy than I've ever felt in my life. And I'm getting past my prime here. I'm about 31 years old, which is not, I know is not old, but also I feel incredibly better than I did when I was 20. When I was 25, I probably have twice the amount of energy on a day-to-day basis. And not only energy, but I feel the most confident, I feel the most at ease, and I feel the most happy with myself that I've ever felt. Because understand, tension is connected to anxiety, to depression. It's stopping the flow of all of the stuff we need to be healthy. When we release, we are not only releasing something physically, and maybe it all is physical, right? But we are releasing on a very deep level. Anxiety will fall away, depression will fall away, even weird physical chronic issues will start to fall away. I cannot express how important this is. There's no way for me to convey this message, no matter how hard that I sit here and I try. So look, I really recommend trying the Art of Relaxation program. I created this program for my clients. I'm having all of my clients go through this program because I believe in it, because I needed something to give people to say, hey, this is going to give you relaxation. This is going to help you at least feel what we're talking about. And once we start to feel it and understand, okay, we can sink deeper into the practice. So that's my spiel. Thank you very much for listening. I try to be, with this one, just as heartfelt as I can, because I know what it's like to suffer in your body. I've been there in my own ways. We all experience it differently. But yeah, from my heart out, like, I just want to share some stuff that's been helpful and has helped many, many people. Cool. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.